If you're working on a literature review, you're going to have to find some sources. And luckily, as a student here at AVC, you have access to our library's article search engine. It's called EBSCO. Okay, so I definitely recommend using that. To access it, the first thing you're going to want to do is to go to our college's website. Next, you're going to want to click on AVC Library, and you should see this page pop up. Now, if you look at this first link right here, it says search articles, books, journals, and more. Go ahead and click on that. That's the EBSCO that we want. All right, that should open up a new tab or a new page. And if you're off campus, you will need to sign in. So you're going to need to put in your AVC username and password before you get to this screen. But once you do get to this screen, all you really need to do now is just put in whatever your research topic is. So I'm going to put in, I don't know, how about visual perception? Now it's going to do a quick search and you're going to see all the stuff that it provides for you. But there's a problem here. Some of these look like good sources that I could include in a like APA style literature review, but some of these are not going to be appropriate. Like you see ebooks mixed in with peer-reviewed articles. We only really want to use the peer-reviewed articles. So here's what you can do to filter out all these non-peer-reviewed articles. There's a button right here below the search bar where you can just click on that. Scholarly peer-reviewed journals. Okay, so now we filtered out all the stuff that we can't use. And at this point, you just need to spend some time looking at these results, and you want to pick a few that look good. So let's see what we got here. Well, let's go with this one. If you click on the name of the article, it'll give you more information. So you see we get all the details, like all the authors and whatnot, subject terms. These are really good if you want to find other sources that are similar to yours. Like you can use those same terms. Like maybe in my next search, I could look for something about time dilation, perhaps, if, you know, that's the kind of thing I'm interested in. But the most important part of this whole page that you see here is this abstract. This is what you want to read if an article does look interesting to you, because the abstract provides you with a one-paragraph summary of the full paper. So you'll get a pretty good idea as to what these researchers were doing. And if it still seems interesting after you've read the abstract, then you're going to want to download this article. And you see there's a download button up here at the top. So you can just click on that. I recommend downloading as a PDF, but you know, you have your other options. And once that's done, you can just open it up, print it out if you really want to, but you know, I don't think that's necessary. It's really pretty easy to download full text sources from EBSCO like that. But you might find some sources that don't provide full text. So if you look back up at the top again near that search bar, there's another button that says online full text. So that'll just make sure it only shows you stuff that you do have access to the full text for. But yeah, it's usually not an issue, but that is definitely helpful. So that's basically what EBSCO is all about. You know, you just put in some words, you see what you find, but there's a few more things that I just briefly want to mention. I already mentioned that if you like a source, you should look at these subjects down here, and you can actually just go ahead and click on them. So let's click on time perception, and now it's done a search on those subject terms. So we'll be able to find articles that are on the same subject. You can also click on the author and find other articles by the same author. This is a great way to expand your search. You know, after you've found that one source that looks really good, you'll be able to find a lot more from that same author that are probably on the same topic. You know, so that's pretty helpful. And you can do all other kinds of searches just by clicking on things you see here. All these little blue words you can click on to find similar kinds of sources. So that's one cool thing I like about EBSCO. But here's one more. Let's go back to the view the details. If you look at the top right over here, there's a few buttons. Save will like put it in a favorites list that you can review later. Like I just clicked on save. So over here on the left, you see my dashboard. You can click on saved and it'll be right there. So that's a great way to just, index all the stuff that you're using if you can't download it right now, or if you don't want to download it or whatever, right? So that's one cool thing you could do. Another one is you can add it to a project. I've never really had to do that, but it can definitely help to organize your notes in that way. So you can put, specific sources into specific like folders. Share, that just provides you with a web link basically, and there's many different ways to do that. And then of course I already mentioned the download. There's a similar download button up here. But all these things are nice, but only one of them is really, really important. And that's this one, the one that says Cite. So I strongly recommend that when you find a source you like, click on that Cite button, then use this drop-down menu right here to choose the writing style that you are using. And in psychology, we use APA style. So you want to click on APA 7th edition. And then that will give you a fully formatted reference page entry for that source. So when you're putting together your references page, you can literally just copy this or click, copy to keyboard, copy that, and then open up your document, like a Google Docs or Windows Doc or whatever. Open up your document and just paste it right in there. And usually it transfers perfectly and you don't have to mess with it at all. This is a huge time saver. It's very helpful. But, keep in mind, EBSCO is not perfect and sometimes it will make little formatting mistakes. So you still should definitely double check your APA style for the reference page entries just to make sure there's no small errors in there. Okay?